What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we know all 6 of the leaders from OP-06. They've finally all been revealed, so we need to do that thing we do for every set nowadays, whereby, when we know the leaders, we sit down and have a good look at all the leaders. I do think that's important. Get them all in one place, have a good look, and have a nice good old chat about them. So let's start off having a look at what I consider to be the best of the leaders that we are seeing in OP-06, and that is Yamato. I think Yamato is ridiculous. I think Yamato is a redonkulous card. I think Yamato is borderline a little bit broken. I am a massive fan of Yamato. I think I've been clear enough about that. And what we've got is a green-yellow leader, 5,000 power, 4 life, with double attack, and a leader with double attack is honestly kind of a little bit ridiculous. Being able to just whack a bunch of Don on there and just double attack is honestly really, really good. And then we've also, because apparently that isn't good enough, activate main once per turn. If your opponent has 3 or less life, attach up to 2 rested Don to one of your characters. So not only are you sitting there with double attack, which honestly alone would be amazing, but as soon as your opponent goes down to 2 life, you can attach 2 rested Don to one of your characters every turn. This one seems ridiculous. Very aggressive, which is probably why it's my favourite. But honestly, this one is redonk. Do remember we have an other green-yellow leader running around. This is not unique in that regard. We have previously seen Arlong. So if you wanted to have a green-yellow leader, yeah, Arlong is there as an alternative. I like that Arlong can play characters for free. That's pretty cool. I like this more. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a better leader. And, you know, Arlong's had a while and unfortunately not proven itself. But the combination here of both double attack and being able to attach rested Don every turn just seems frankly ridiculous to me. I think this one's awesome. Now, sticking with green, we've also got Hod Jones, 5,000 power, 5 life, mono green, as to be expected. But we've got an activate main. You may rest this leader, rest up to one of your opponent's characters that cost 3 or less, or one of their Don. So you're either resting one of their Don that they can't then use to activate events, or you're resting one of their characters that cost 3 or less. Maybe it's a blocker that now can't block, maybe it's a character that you're now allowed to attack. Either way, that's kind of annoying. Then during this turn, you cannot add life cards to your hand using your own effects. And obviously this is one of those ones where it doesn't make a huge amount of sense when you look at it, because pre-OP-06, there's no such thing as a green card that add life to your hand with your own effects. Now we haven't seen much here, admittedly, but we have seen Icaros much. Boom, nailed it. And what we've got from this one is a really good skill whereby on play, if your leader's type is new Fishman Pirates, you can play a 4 cost or lower Fishman character from your hand for free, which is ridiculous. Then add the top card of your life to your hand. So you've got this really good skill that lets you play a character for free, with the potentially massive downside of having to add a life to your hand and getting your opponent closer to winning the game. But then Hod Jones can essentially turn that off, so you don't add a life to your hand. One really important thing to note about Hod Jones here is you can rest your leader to rest an opponent's character or Don, and then you can't take any life. But you don't have to. Or you can do it after playing something like Icaros much, and that's what I love about this. You can either let yourself activate the skills that add life to your hand because you want the card advantage, or you can turn them off with Hod Jones. Either will do nicely. This is another one I liked very much indeed. Now, it's interesting to note that Uta does get a new leader in this set. She also just got a leader in Starter Deck 11. I really like the one in Starter Deck 11. It just lets you look at the top card of your deck, and if it's a film card, add it to your hand. It's basically a draw one every turn for film decks. I really like it. That's not the one we've got here. Here, we've got a dual color red and purple leader, and when attacking, you may trash a film card from your hand to give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power until the end of your turn, and then add up to 1 Don from your Don deck rested. You're lowering power on your opponent's characters, and you're getting yourself an extra Don. cannot be the only one that thinks this could be pretty gosh darn good. This isn't one of those ones that strikes me as absolutely full-on ridiculously broken, although I could easily be wrong about that. I'm sure somebody's going to make an amazing deck with this, and honestly, anytime I look at a character and I go, it's fine, it's not particularly good, and then somebody breaks it, or a leader, of course, that doesn't make me sad, that makes me happy, because then interesting One Piece TCG stuff is happening, and I like interesting One Piece TCG stuff. Do, of course, remember that if we are looking at red and purple leaders as a group, because as I've said a bunch of times, if we're looking at these dual colour leaders, I do think it's important to see what the competition is, because obviously if you've got a unique dual colour leader, that colour combination hasn't been used anywhere else, then that does make it a more enticing proposition. Yeah, starter deck 10 had 3 red and purple leaders. You have been warned. Now, I asked for a Perona leader. We're getting a Perona leader. I am very happy about this. We got a dual colour, 5,000 power, 4 life, green and black leader. And activate main once per turn, you can do one of the following things. Either rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less, or give one of your opponent's characters -1 cost during this turn. Obviously, the resting is the green effect, and the lowering cost is the black effect. I do like it when we got dual colour leaders that are very obviously, here's a part that is green and here's a part which is black. That makes me happy. Now, the fact that it's just do it once per turn is great. Resting a 4-cost character once per turn is awesome. And reducing cost by 1 is good. And there's no Dawn X1 or rest this lead or any of that rubbish. It's just do it. You don't even have to be attacking. You just do it. I am liking this one more and more the more I think about it. And don't forget, we did see Ryuma the other day, which I think is very, very important here. Because that lets you just, when played and when KO'd, KO arrested 4 costs or lower character, which of course is the same cost that Perona is resting here. I think the combo between these two is pretty gosh darned ridiculous. Keep an eye on this one. I don't like this one as much as I like Yamato, but I do think this one has a lot of potential. And of course, like we've been doing, we do need to look at the colour combination here and see if black and green is unique in terms of leaders. It's not. We previously had Isho. And actually, if you want to go for the reducing cost route, Isho has got Don X1 on your turn. Give -1 to all of your opponent's characters. Isho is a pretty good leader. It's not a real top tier leader that is ruling the format or anything like that. But Isho is a good leader that has seen a bunch of play since it came out. It's not a top tier leader, I don't think. I think that's a fair comment to make. But it is a leader that's hanging around and doing quite well and very relevant. And I've warned you, all right? I've told you. Now, there is another Thriller Bark leader here. We are talking about Gecko Moria. 5,000 power, 5 life, mono black leader. And there's a lot going on in this skill, but it's very good. When attacking, pay 2 and Don X1 and trash a card from your hand. I believe when I looked at this the other day, I forgot to make it clear you had to trash a card from your hand. I apologise. Let me correct that now. And as well as trashing a card from your hand, you're trashing 2 cards on the top of your deck. So it's Don X1, pay 2, trash a card from your hand, trash the top 2 cards of your deck. Okay? But then you get to play a 4-cost Thriller Bark Pirates character, or less, from your trash for free. Now, it's not really for free. You're paying 2 to play a 4-cost character from your trash. And sure, you've got a Don X1, but that's making your leader more powerful. And sure, you've got to trash a card from your hand and 2 from the top of your deck, but black is playing from the trash a bit here, like we see here. You can literally trash a 4-cost character from your hand and then play it. It's ridiculous. Love this. Absolutely love it. And we have actually seen a couple of characters that work with this. Absalom, on play, it's a 4-cost character, so yes, it can be played by Gecko Moria. On play, you put 2 cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck, and then KO a character of a cost of 2 or less. Or Dr. Hogback, on play, put 2 cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck, and then put a Thriller Bark card other than Dr. Hogback from your trash to your hand. And I don't know if they're going to be the only 2. There may be more. So yeah, you got to do a lot to activate this skill, but it's a really good skill. Also, Dr. Hogback just reanimates people in the manga. So come on. Totally appropriate. And then the final leader here is one of the first ones actually revealed. we've got ourselves Vinsmoke Ru. We've got 4 life, 5,000 power, and we've got a dual colour here, blue and purple. And on your turn, once per turn, when one of your Don cards is returned to your Don deck, which remember is the kind of thing that purple do a lot, draw a card. Now, we've also seen some really specific German 66 cards that are going to work nicely with it, and this is the only German 66 leader we've seen, but basically when you use a Don minor skill, you go and draw yourself a card. It's alright, ladies and gentlemen. It's alright. And then, of course, let's not forget we've got the 2-cost Vinsmoke Ru. Activate main, Don -1, you may trash this character. And then if your leader has a German 66 type, you can play a 4-cost Vinsmoke Ru from your hand or trash. And obviously we've had one of them that looks quite good. And it's Don -1, but then you get to draw, so that's cool. Or Vinsmoke Ru. Activate main, Don -1, you may trash this character. If your leader has a German 66 type, you can play a 7-cost Vinsmoke Ru from your hand or trash. And yes, we have a 7-cost as well. So it's German 66, which lets you activate those skills. But then we've also got these really nice, play this character for free. It's just, and then a Don -1, but you draw a card. It all works together very, very nicely indeed. And then, of course, we need to finish doing what we've been doing all the way along. Do we have a blue and purple leader? Have we got any other options? Or is this the only one? Yeah, we've actually got a couple. We've got ourselves Crocodile, which is really good for events, and we got ourselves Kaido, both from OP-01, interestingly enough, which lets you get extra Don when you KO a character. So these are actually decent leaders I have seen a bunch of play. So I don't necessarily think you're going to play Vinsmoke Ru as a blue-purple leader. I don't think that's what it does. I think it is a German 66 leader. And then if you really want to go blue or purple, we have Kaido or Crocodile coming along. But if you want to play German 66, this will work very nicely. I've been extremely clear about the fact that Yamato is my favourite leader, and I've been extremely clear about the fact that I asked for a Perona leader, got a Perona leader, and I'm going to be testing the bejesus out of it. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know which of these works for you. I want to know which ones are your favourites. I want to know anything you want to tell me. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.